So in the last 7 days, my AI agency has made just over $11,000. I'll show you the stripe right now. And so, yeah, hopefully that focuses. And so, yeah, if you're not able to see that, I'll cut in a video of it. But I also got this fancy new tripod that I can attach you guys to. But if you're not familiar with who I am, my name's Tommy Christ. I'm a 20-year-old college student and AI agency owner, founder of Rose AI. And basically, I build voice AI agents, so like AI receptionists and stuff. And this last week has just been absolutely ridiculous. Now, previously, I'm sorry about that, guys. My phone ran out of storage, so I had to delete some old videos. But yeah, I sold these like 20 grand worth of these things in the past, but obviously 11 grand in 1 week is pretty nuts. And so I just have a few words of wisdom for anybody trying to do this, anybody who's sort of wants to get in a position where they're able to make money online, and especially, 5 figures in a month, but is sort of the goal. But I mean, even in a week is just ridiculous. And so, yeah, a bit of background. These were two big clients. So recently changed my pricing model, and went for a lot more higher ticket, bigger deals. And so one was $6,000 a month, and then the other was a $10,000 project. So that's 50% upfront, 50% upon completion. And so that's where I made the lion's share of that 11 grand. I still have projects I used to work for 50, 60 an hour. And so that's where like I make some other money on the side. And that's obviously still really good money, but nothing compared to these huge projects. And as I start to sort of build a team around me to help deliver these, it's a really cool sort of time where I'm really starting to accelerate in my agency. But in terms of like words of wisdom, if you're trying to get there, the one biggest thing that I never did was I never lost confidence. Because the hard truth is, for some time, you'll have to work for free. You'll have to work really hard and you're not going to make any money. And, in the back of your mind, you're always going to think like, man, like, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just be like the rest of the other people? But then you just have to remember what it was like when you were like them. And so for me, that was like, I was just in high school and sort of like rolling up to college. And I was one of like 1.5 million kids like applying to college, getting into college in the US. And I thought to myself, like, because in my mind, I'm this hero. I'm capable of so much, but when I look at what my life is, it's so normal. Like someone could come up and they wouldn't be able to differentiate me from the million other kids applying to college. And so that's really what drove it home to me was like, I've tried the normal path and I know where it's gotten me. And it's gotten me to a point where I I just wasn't happy. I needed to chase something bigger. I needed something that was for myself, that freedom. And the funny thing is, there's a quote that um, the business works on you more than you work on the business, or at least just as much. And it's so true. I've grown so much emotionally, just sort of resilience wise. I've become a lot tougher. I can do more difficult things. My mind's open to what is actually possible. I mean, if you told me I made 11 grand in a week, I'd think you're ridiculous. This is something where if I saw this video 3 years ago, I would be jealous of the guy in the screen, and now the guy in the screen is me. And so I just want you to understand that if you want to make that leap, if you know you're capable of more, you just have to take it and you have to trust in yourself. And then you can't let that willpower, that belief in yourself die. Because as soon as that dies, that's when like people start to fall on the path. And so you're running towards this goal, you're running towards growing your business. I've seen it. And you're running with all these people at the start because everybody wants to start, right? everybody wants to think about doing it. Maybe they make an Instagram page, maybe they make a LinkedIn, send a couple cold emails, and then you know some of them, after a week, after a month, you start seeing these people drop off. So you're running on this sprint to building your business, and you look around and there's no one there, or there's a few people there. And then maybe you see a guy and he's way ahead of you, and you start judging yourself against how fast he's going, even though he started racing a full couple minutes before you. He's way ahead of you just because he started earlier. But now you're judging yourself based on him, and now you're thinking, hey, you're getting tired, you're running out of breath. Like, you're thinking, hey, it'd be pretty easy just to be like the rest of the 95% of people that just drop back. I mean, it seems pretty difficult to be like that guy who's way far ahead. You probably start thinking, hey, maybe he's just faster than me. Maybe he was born with it. Maybe his dad had better lungs. Same, like his dad had more money. And really, what I'm trying to drive home here is the journey is a journey for a reason. And so the it's difficult, and so that's why people drop off. That's why you envy and think you can't do the things that people ahead of you can do. But that's exactly why it's worth it. That's exactly why the work works on you more than you even work on the business. That's why you grow, and that's why it's a coveted thing. That's why some of you right now might be jealous of me, or trying to find ways in your head to justify, like, oh, how could this 20-year-old kid do this? you know and so it's because you don't think you're capable of it. But I'm here sitting telling you, I was you. Like, I was you. I was not different in any way. I'm not some genius. I'm not some business savant. I just put my head down, worked, and if I keep looking over, I'm looking at the striped dashboard, because I still, like, it's crazy to me that's like it's here. But like, in my mind, I'm able to accomplish this. Like, in my mind, I've been this type of entrepreneur for months. I've been capable of this for months. I just knew I had to pay down the work debt. I just knew there was all that was keeping me between, like, where I am now at hitting 11 grand in a week and me literally making no money with $200 in my bank account. I knew I could get here. I never had a doubt. I just knew I had to put in the time, and work was the only thing that would close that gap. And I control those. Time's going to happen anyways, so I don't have to worry about that. And I control how much I work. And so I was never worried. So you just have to remember, when you're on that sprint, that you control if you keep running. Like, that's up to you. Nobody else can keep you from running. Nobody else can stop you from running. It's just you. And so the only way you can lose is if you stop the sprint, if you join the other 99% of people that dropped out. And the good news is, even though that guy might be way ahead of you, if you work smart, if you work in it, like, AI is just a crazy industry right now. And I have a free community showing people how to do this. Um, Down below, I give away all my sauce in there. And so you can basically tie on, if you use something like AI, you hop on the AI bandwagon. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy right now. If you do that, sorry about that. If you hop on the AI bandwagon, you can basically give yourself better running shoes. If you just, like, run a bit faster every day, you can start to catch up with that guy. And so what I'm really here to say is that, yes, I did this. Yes, it's cool. But that doesn't mean you should just watch this and be like, well, there's another fluke. There's another kid who got lucky. I worked for, literally, I've had a business for like 2 years. I've had this business for a year. I started off with literally, like, about to be in debt, like $200 in my bank account and business expenses. And I'm not some genius. I'm not better than you in any way. I'm just a guy who started sprinting earlier. And you can be the guy or woman um, that starts at the pack and doesn't wuss out like the rest of them. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this talk. I'm a bit emotional right now because it's a crazy feeling. It's exciting, but again, it's something that I always expected and sort of knew I would accomplish. And so yeah, there's more milestones ahead. I'll keep updating you guys. So peace.